This is my view.
So let me bring in Mr. Karyal of the Congress Party. The opposition was very keen to know who the chief ministers would be. Now we have three new chief ministers. How do you see it?
I like to start with a fellow panelist, the senior journalist. She said there shouldn't be any more than 2 terms for chief ministers. Well, why just for CM faces? That logic should also apply for the PM face. And therefore,
Yes.
the Bharatiya Janata Party should now announce that Mr. Modi is not going to be the PM face when we contest the 2024 elections. Number two, why was
It
Vasundhara
would be
Raje
better
Scindia not
that he
picked? One
talks about
second,
the
please
Congress
do not
strategy.
interrupt me. I have just started.
But Mr. Karyal, that's wishful thinking. Surely you're not making a serious point.
One
There.
second.
It's wish.
No,
Okay.
it's a serious point. She's a very seasoned journalist. She made a very good point.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's a sense of entitlement. Otherwise, you become
Okay.
bigger than the party. And if that's the logic, that should apply to everybody equally. And the Bharatiya Janata Party should welcome it. Number two. Now, I really want to know the reason as to why Miss Vasundhara Raje was not chosen as the chief minister. Was the reason the resort politics that took place, as ANI had reported, that 5 MLAs were taken to Apno Rajasthan resort, and the former state vice president of the BJP, his son was also there, who was an MLA. When he went there to collect his son, he was told that he would have to take permission from Vasundhara Rajeji's son, who's there in the resort. And that came out. And Ms. Raja also sought time from the Prime Minister. Did the Prime Minister give her the time to even meet after she had won the Rajasthan elections for him? Please tell us that as well, and the reason as to why she was not chosen. Number two, as far as the change of team goes, Mr. Vajpayee's chosen leaders, handpicked leaders, have now been removed. There's a new choice of leaders that have come up. And of course, the Bharatiya Janata Party does not choose from within. The Bharatiya Janata Party chooses from the top. And the gentleman from the BJP is saying that, the workers have worked really hard. They need to be rewarded. The MLAs have worked really hard. They need to be rewarded. Well, if so, you should have asked them who their CM face should be. This is the Bharatiya Janata Party has this trend. The decision never comes from within the party. It comes from top of the party, from the high command. And that too from one individual. Number two, the change of leaders that has happened is because they want to change the leaders so that the loyalty could lie with them. Their allegiance could lie with them. And that's why from Mr. Vajpayee's leaders, they have come to a different set of leaders. Number two, last point. The Bharatiya Janata Party's confusion, indecision, infighting, everything is out in the open. And I'll tell you why, Barkha. It's been around 7 days since the decision came out. And in Telangana, we formed government. And within days, the oath-taking ceremony happened, the swearing-in ceremony happened, everything happened, the CM was decided. However, 10 to 12 MPs of the Bharatiya Janata Party had resigned, become MLAs in the hopes of becoming the chief minister. Their dreams have also been shattered. So the Bharatiya Janata Party has disappointed a lot of their own leaders. And we still don't know the reason as to why it has happened. So the question that I've asked,
if you are taking wrong decisions.
I think Gopalji wanted to come in.
No, it's simply if all the wrong decisions are being taken by the BJP, the Congress should be happy.
I never said wrong. I said disappointing for your leaders. That's what I said.
No, but ultimately, whom do you satisfy? It is the people. In democracy, who is the ultimate? Whom you are accountable? It is the people. If the people are accepting what the decision is being taken, it is for that's what we are doing.
Okay,
we are not to only satisfy our workers alone and some leaders. That's what.
Let me bring in the others. Very briefly.
People's wish that we are fulfilling.
I need to go to Yashwant and Rashid, but Tavleen, very briefly, the point, entitlement, why doesn't it apply to the top job? The BJP wouldn't accept that, but you seem to be agreeing with that thought.
I think that it should be like the American system, because we've moved into a very presidential kind of campaign. And I think 2 terms is good. And if Mr. Modi has any grace, he should allow somebody else, follow the same principle. I would suggest it to him. I'm suggesting it on your show. I think that he should give somebody else a chance and then, contest again later if he wants to. I think 2 terms is more than enough for any chief minister or prime minister.
No, but just brief one question.
Okay.
Ultimately, in the political setup, who are you accountable? If the people want some person to be its prime minister, who are we to change that? So,
Okay,
We'll win it,
hang on.
whom are you accountable? In
Okay.
democracy, it is the people's wish. It is for us, the structure only identifies the people's wish and we implement. That's important. We have to understand that in democracy, the accountability to the people,
Can,
their wish
can I
has to be analyzed, and that
Okay,
wish
can I
is
can I can I can I bring in? I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I really want to bring in Yashwant at this point. Tavleen, maybe you could respond later. Yashwant, there is a political paradox here. When you were doing your opinion polls, you identified Vasundhara Raje and Shivraj Singh Chouhan, not so much Raman Singh, but Vasundhara Raje and Shivraj Singh Chouhan is the most popular choices for chief minister, right? They have not become chief minister, and they have had to basically accept it's going to be called the decision of the MLAs, but it's clearly the decision of the party high command. What do you see? Do you think that pollsters like you will have to reimagine, in a way, your surveys, given how the BJP decision making takes place?
Well, yes and no, Barkha. Honestly speaking, in public perception, the names that come up verbatim are the one which have been around and given a charge, and that's how the name gets in. So, say for example, 20 years back, in our numbers, Vasundhara Raje's name or Shivraj Singh Chauhan's name or Raman Singh's name was not there. It was only after when they became the chief minister, they performed or whatever. I mean, in that way, that is how the top of the mind recall that starts pouring in. Having said that, I I I I tend to agree with some of the points with all of the research so said so far. So, largely speaking, the rude argument on behalf of the BJP would be rude argument, I would say, if they wish to, that don't ask us why we are spending this. We are spending because we can spend. It is that kind of argument. Okay, we have got enough MLAs, we have got enough leadership material with us, we have an organization kind of thing which gives us the strength at the grassroots level. And if you go by their argument of that every BJP star that we know of, Barkha, at some point of time, the fact remains that the RSS of the BJP as an organization did pull them up, put them into their stardom cast, because before the organization did it for them, they were unknown people outside their own constituency, maybe, in that way. When Atal Bihari Vajpayee won from Vidisha and Lucknow both in the Lok Sabha election, and he opted out of Vidisha, at that point of time, Shivraj Singh Chauhan got a bypoll nomination to fill that seat. Before that, outside that sphere, outside Madhya Pradesh, nobody knew him in that way. For that matter, even when Uma Bharti was the most popular person at that point of time, her popularity and Shivraj Singh Chauhan was nowhere near to be marked. So, due credit in a way that this two states certainly make sense to me. Third one is today's one was kind of, as I said, that not just process wise, but name wise, it was a surprise as well. Earlier two were processionally speaking, they were clear in that from the process point of view that they wanted to pick up a organizational person, long-term organizational person. The Chhattisgarh chief minister designate and the Madhya Pradesh chief minister designate, they were old timers. They are not the new timers, as say. They had their things carved out. They were not first time MLAs. Today's decision was pretty much like the Gujarat decision. And the Gujarat decision, even after putting up the first time MLA as the chief minister in their style, they went on to rob home with another election that with that person in place. So for them, the organization is supreme. I guess that what is happening here, that many people will end up kind of analyzing the current process of BJP's chief minister speaking with what Indiraji used to do in the 60s and 70s, But there is a fundamental difference, even though the parallels are pretty unique and everybody to see it. But there is a fundamental difference that when Mrs. Gandhi used to pick and choose. I remember there was one very brilliant cartoon, uh, probably by Uni, or I don't remember. Maybe Tavleen, you might be remembering that as well, where Mrs. Indira Gandhi was coming down from the aircraft, and there was set of the people standing over there with garlands and everything, and she's pointing, and you will be the next chief minister. What is your name? I remember that was a cartoon, and that was a brilliant cartoon. There would be many parallels that will be drawn with that cartoon, but there is one fundamental difference, that Mrs. Gandhi was taking decisions as an individual. While in this case, no matter how centralized the BJP looks right now, the decision is pretty much organizational. That's a very, very fundamental difference. Mr. Modi is lucky to have a pool of those kind of leaders where he can pick and choose from. But that pool is provided by the organization. There is no individual pool
Yeah.
to start with. That's a big difference.
I think that's a very important point, and I just want to bring in Rashid, and then we need to play some clips actually from all the developments today. Rashid, Madhya Pradesh, your home state, Rajasthan, as Yashwant said, a surprise name. Gopal Agarwal makes the very important point. The name may surprise you, the thinking should not. Do you see a very clear thinking, whether the caste calculus or something else, which is basically ending a kind of old generation of leaders, building a new leadership?
Barkha, nothing of this sort at all. See, while the BJP is within its rights to go for any MLA that chooses to chief minister of state, it defies all kind of logic, the parliamentary conventions. See, to bring this element of entitlement, I find it very disturbing. I think every elected MLA is a potential chief minister, or for the matter, every elected member of parliament is a potential parliamentarian. But in parliamentary in Westminster model of parliamentary democracy, the importance is accorded in terms of their kind of winnability, their stature within the organization, their experience in public life, in terms of, again,